Hello, I'm Quintessence, and welcome to some more absolute basics of Squadrons. This time, we're talking about boosting and drifting, the standout mechanics of Star Wars Squadrons. Mastering their use is essential in getting from point A to point B, making tight maneuvers, and staying alive under heavy fire. Before we begin, here are some adjustments to the game's controls that I highly recommend you make. For all players, regardless of control scheme, change the drift input mode to hold. And for those who are using console controllers, change the keybind for boost and drift from left thumbstick press to left trigger. I cannot stress how much of a quality of life change this is for controller players. With that out of the way, we can continue. To perform a drift, you will need energy in your boost bar first. This is why I stress the importance of newer players having power and engines maxed as much as possible. If you have boost in your boost bar, you're good to go. Start by initiating a boost. Then, while still boosting, hit the drift button. For controller users, boosting and drifting will be the same button. For keyboard users, boost and drift are on separate keys by default. If you have changed your drift settings to hold, the drift will continue for as long as you hold the drift button, or your speed drops to your ship's normal top speed, whichever one happens first. The possible length of your drift will depend on what kind of ship you're flying, your exact loadout, and how much power you have allocated to engines. A drift performed with minimal power to engines is known as a dead drift. A dead drift will always be longer than a drift performed with maximum power to engines. That, of course, brings up the question. If I've told you to keep power in engines as often as possible, how can you utilize dead drifts? Well, what if I told you there was a way to make every drift a dead drift, while also making sure that all of your systems are charged, and doing so while not wasting a single second? We'll discuss this in the next video, which will combine what we've learned so far about power allocation and drifting into a single, crucially important technique: boost gasping. Once again, this has been Quintessence, and I hope this has been helpful to someone out there.